Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I am Missa Sar, welcome to the Music Zone, and today we're going to focus on part 2 of our Listen, Perform and Create series, and we're zoning in on creating, aka composition. Now in our last video we spoke about using a sketch to create our structure and putting the notes on as we go based on that sketch. Now it is limitless because what we did, we created a melody line. So if you want to create other parts, if you want to create a rhythmic accompaniment, you can pull from that as well. Mostly our accompaniment will be on one rhythm rhythm chart. But if you're incorporating other parts, such as other melodic instruments, if you want to incorporate keyboard instruments, that's also at your liberty to do so. So today now we are going to zone in on the jigsaw method, and of course these notes are not set in stone. You can replace, you can substitute whatever you want to do. I'm just using this as an example, and big up to my mommy teacher. I really got this from that site, and it was intended for a tic-tac-toe game, but I've used it other ways. I found some creative ways to use it within the space. All right, so if you look at the screen, you see 9 boxes, right? All of these have different types of notes in them, and we're going to assume that we're in quadruple time because each one is adding up to 4. We could say we have 9 measures, and if we were to clap them, you would basically see how they are based on the duration. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So pretty much this is if you want to put this to a beat, that's fine. If you want to do an accompaniment, you can also do that. Now, if we were to put this in rhythm form, put it in one line, it would look like this, right? You have all the notes written out. But suppose I want to use this as a compositional tool, then I can mix up the numbers. So for example, I could do 1 to 9, then I could do 1, 5, 9, and then 7, 5, 3, and then I could do 4, 5, 6, any which way you want to put it. Now if you want to use it as a polyphonic composition, you can also do that. You can also put it as homophonic, whichever you choose. So you want to switch it around. So here's what it sounds like when I put them out. I'm gonna put like I'm gonna make it a little crazy. So I'm going to put them in 3 groups. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 as one part, 4, 5, and 6 was one part, 7, 5, 8, 9 as one part. So after they reach 3, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 9, 4, 5, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 9, 4, 5, 6. And then for the second part, I'm gonna go 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for the third part, 7, 8, 9, I'm going to do 7, 8, 9, then 7, 5, 9, then 4, 5, 6. So we can shift them around however you choose. Again, you can also replace them with whatever you want. If you also want to add text, if it's a choral or vocal composition, you can do that as well. Incorporate the text. Other persons sometimes write text first before they add music, and that's okay. You can do that. Some people write down the notes. You can do that as well. So there are no limitations to composition. You just want to have an idea where you're going, and depending on how many measures you want to create, how many instruments you want to include so on and so forth. So you should be fine with that. So here we go. So this is what this would sound like with my composition. So it sounds that if you're doing all of that together, this is what it sounds like. All right, hello everybody. Hope you can hear me well. So this is our next session, a part of this composition aspect, and we're going to go through some of the things, well, what we spoke about in terms of the jigsaw method. So I'll be sharing my screen. So here we have our jigsaw. Notice we have 1 to 9, and what we spoke about in the video, if we were to play all of them, we would have 9 measures already. If you want to do them in parts, you can go that way. So you could have 1, 2, 3 being one part, 4, 5, 6 being another part, 7, 8, 9 being another part. And then when you do 1, 2, 3, the next set will be 1, 5, 9, then 4, 5, 6. And when you do 4, 5, 6, you're gonna do 7, 5, 3, then 4, 5, 6. And then we have 7, 8, 9, 7, 5, 9, and then 4, 5, 6. So that's the construct that we're going to use with this. Now, I did something in finale, using finale, but for some reason it wasn't being, I'm not getting my sound. So I'm just gonna share what I was doing. And of course, you're open to do whatever you want. So this is a full score of, uh-oh, I should do this. All right, so here we have it. Let me stop again and share once more. Okay, so let me share. So let's go over to finale and see what's happening there. So finale, here we have it. And what I have the instrumentation is for flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, horn, trombone, tuba, bells, and percussion. Of course, I just chose it from a template. And if you notice, I started putting in some of the notes. They're down here, the rhythm. And if we want to place them in pitch, we can do that. You can do this for SATB. That's a choral part if you want. If you want to do it for less instruments, let's say like uh, a lead instrument and a piano and bass, you can do that as well. So that's another option. So that's an option two in terms of notation. And if you notice, you see the rhythm here. Oh, I started laying them out as we go along. So that's another option. So I'm going to take you to the last option with I thought may benefit you more because you would see and hear what I'm doing through the session. So this software is called Mixcraft. And what I've done is I've composed it for voices and percussion and some other things. So I'm gonna share that session now. Hopefully we can hear what is happening as well. So here we go. So I do have 3 parts here, which will represent 1, 2, and 3, as I highlighted earlier. So if we were to play all of them from 1 to 9, it would sound like this. Uh-oh, what's happening? Okay, if we're playing from 1 to 9, it sound like this. Right? So that's where I have it in terms of Mixcraft. Um, so that would be taken from measures 1 to 9, right? I'm going to keep on sharing and see what happens now throughout it. Here we go. just playing that 1 to 9 once more. Reiteration. All right. So if you notice, I have some gray areas which I've muted in a little bit. So this section now is where we place them in three different parts. So I use conga, timbale, and a bell, so like a cowbell sound. So this top part will be playing 1 to 3, then 1 5 9, then 4 5 6. The second one will be playing 4 5 6, 7 5 7 5 3, and then 4 5 6. And the last part will be 7 8 9, 7 5 9, and then 4 5 6. And if you notice that we all meet up at 4 5 6, so just have some commonality. So here we go. That's what that sounds like. Here we go. All right, so the next session now I've added a click track. And as I said before, you're free to use whatever you want. If you want to put in parts for actual instruments, that's fine as well. So I'm gonna play the first section up to where we stopped with that click track, and that will sound like this. And the genre will be pop. And you could mess around with anything that you want. So you could put something else there. Next section when everybody's doing different things. All right, we're gonna stay in this little section for a little bit. So the possibilities are endless. So I'm going to add pitch to what we're doing there. So I've assigned pitches to um, each of the instruments, and it's really homophonic. You can always assign it up pitch. So I use one syllable just for ease of reference. So you see the example. But of course, you can explore other pitches on the staff or stave. So here we go. This is what it will sound like with those assigned pitches. Right, so that's an option as well. You can use different syllables, and of course, if you notice, we will be adding measures as we go along. So this would be after we've done the first part. I added also a keyboard part. So you could be chord sheets and a bass. So if I did uh, add that, this is what sounds like now. Right, and so on and so forth. And then we went a step further and added words, lyrics. So yeah, my title is Rhythm Me This, Rhythm Me That. So if I should do the same 1, 2, 3 effect, let me drop this. Let me take out this one, take out these three, and put what part, I think this would be part one. Where 1 to 3, this should sound like this. So that's part one. If I should do part two, which would have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 3, and 4, 5, 6. This is what it sounds like with those words. Oh, come back here. Okay, so that would be part two. And this is what part three would be sounding like. So part three would be 7, 8, 9. They would do 7, 5, 9 and 4, 5, 6, which is another pitch. So here we go with that one. And then if we put all of those three together, they would sound like this. I'm saying rhythm me this, rhythm me that. That's what the words are. So we will make a composition out of it. All right, and that would close that out. Or we could just vibe on it, so you could, you know what I mean, you could do whatever you want. So I'm gonna play it from the top with everything, with what it would sound like, from instruments by themselves to everybody joining. So let me unmute all of these. And we go from the top. So from the top, it would sound like this. Let's click. That's from 1 to 9. One more time. So this tool, the options are endless. You can do whatever you want with it from this jigsaw mode. You can also add things. So if you want to add chord sheets, you want to add a piano part, um, a popular instrument, you can do that. So um, use them wisely and think outside the box because you can create a masterful composition by just using simple tools. So I hope this helps for your composing. And I'll try to see if I can transcribe them and send them out at a later date. So until next time, see you. All right, so this will be a shorter video because we went in a little bit more detail in terms of notation and duration for the previous, but you once you get in this idea in this is you can incorporate also your elements of music, so any of your dynamics if you want to use modulations, tempo markings, any of those you can incorporate in your composition. So you want your composition to represent you or what your thoughts are, and you have all the tools to do that. So all the best in creating. um, I'm gonna try to upload the finished work of the previous, which we had some scribblings on the board and the board was not really working with me, but we'll have those available for you to look at as examples, and you can create your own. So have fun creating, have fun, just exploring the options that you can create music from. Almost anything you can incorporate, anything if you want to incorporate some musical stimulants, that's also okay. If you want to incorporate both voices and instruments, that's also okay. So have fun in your compositions. I'm looking forward to see if anybody will share them. You can do that, and I'll see you next time. Have fun and walk good. My love from the music zone.